guys, welcome back to my channel. And today is going to be my second part of season 2 of the live action One Piece. So if you haven't seen the whole live action, this is going to be kind of spoiler heavy. I really don't have too much to add to what I said in my previous video because it was really long. But I just kind of wanted to talk about, like, I didn't have a lot to say about Little Garden. I think it was great. I think most of this is going to probably be Drum Island, so Chopper and his backstory and everything. I think everything was really, really well done. And I think they did a really good job with just taking 3 episodes and explaining everything. 3 episodes, we had the chaos in the town, the Wapple fight, and Chopper's backstory. Um, I think that we haven't really. I feel like the other, obviously the first season was pretty much Nami's island. I think we got 2 episodes for each. So Chopper's so far has been the biggest backstory, and I feel like there was like a lot to uncover. Um, but I just thought it was really well done. It was really sweet. I don't really think like there's gonna be. It's very tragic. Chopper's backstory is really tragic. If I haven't read the whole thing, I would say it's the most tragic that we probably have experienced so far. Um, because of his medical mistake that he does, like it's very heartbreaking. But it's not the worst that you experience in the whole storyline. Um, Robin doing kind of her cat and mouse thing is interesting. I think it's interesting that they're making Robin such a big part um of this, where she's going to be a really big character when we hit Alabasta, but she's in it a little bit. Like she's definitely catting and mousing and following them around and stuff. She's like, yeah, I get to clean up everybody else's mess, and I don't remember that. Um, yeah, there's not much else to say because it's been such a well done, masterful way of retelling these parts. Um, it's, I can't really complain about it because I don't think they're destroying what One Piece is. I feel like they're honoring it. They're showing things that are from other arcs that what I'm thinking is probably we're not going to see. We're getting personalities from further arcs that really show character development. Sanji, this is another thing I wanted to talk about. Sanji's talking about his mother. He might have done that in the anime. That Nami Sanji conversation might have happened in the anime manga. But as far as we know at this point is what we got from first season Bronte. So we don't know like the stuff from like Whole Cake Island or anything like that. But I feel like this show is somewhat made for the newcomers, but mostly it's made for like the people that have been following this for a while, know everything, and then they're coming to the live action to kind of see like the differences and stuff. sorry guys, is it's a celebration of what Oda's created instead of like a play by play of what, you know, this stuff is. And I wouldn't want to play by play, to be honest. There's a lot of filler. There's a lot of stuff that I'm like okay that they cut out. Like, I don't feel like I'm missing anything. Like, I'm like, everything they cut out, I'm like, okay, that's fine. I feel like a newcomer could have came in and um watch it and understand the story. I think I'm gonna have my friend maybe watch it and see her reaction to the live action. Because I can't sit there and be like, hey, watch 1,000 episode anime with me. I'm like, I just can't do that. So 16 episode live action, 1 hour, like, is a lot easier to swallow in my opinion. Even though I love this, series so much, it's like the people that are like, it will take you this long to, I'm like, yeah, nobody has the time for that. Like, it took me a while to get caught up, and that was basically, I got to Zoe, and then I read all of Whole Cake Island, so I got through that really fast because I read it instead of watching it. And then that was skipping all the filler stuff too. So I was skipping the filler, so like the intro scenes and all that. Sorry guys. And it still took me a while. So it's a big commitment that I think if you're so in love with the series, like, you don't feel like it's a commitment, but when you're trying to get somebody interested, it's like, oh, okay, here's a 16 episode live action we can watch. And that's kind of what I feel like. It's like it's a good introduction to these characters. But then it like sparks the interest of, oh, what's gonna happen next? But it's also honoring these characters that we've learned to love so much, and seeing them kind of bring these characters to life in a way where they're kind of bringing like personality aspects that we get like post time skip, and we don't get like the power-ups or anything like that. Like, I feel like they're doing a really good job showing like they just touched the grand line, and it's 3 times harder than when they fought Buggy the first time. And then they fight Buggy again in like the first Logtown episode, and you see like the progression from season 1 to season 2. And that's kind of what I want from this show, is I just want to see them getting better, getting stronger, like at a slow process. Because that's what I feel like when you were watching the anime and you get to like the, sorry guys, to the big fight with Crocodile. Like, Luffy is slowly, and I'm spoiling a little bit, so I do apologize. But you slowly, he slowly learns, and I feel like that's like, even like when he's like fighting Buggy for the first time, like, you can see Luffy like slowly learning like about some of these devil fruit powers. So like when he comes in on like the second part of it, it's a lot easier, and they're showing that very well. And they're showing Zoro kind of grappling with the fact that he lost to Mihawk, which I think is really interesting because you don't see that in the anime. Like they don't really do the mental aspect of like some of these characters. I don't think we dig deep down into like anybody's psyche until you get to like way further on, and then there's some characters that we do kind of like there's a good analysis like in the show. Um but that was something too. Um and with Chopper, I thought they did a really good job of like hinting about like his little ball things that he uses to upgrade his powers. Like you see it, but he's like, "Oh, ooh, my secret." Like so like that keeps the intrigue going. Oh, his rumble balls. His rumble balls. That's what those are called. Like, and I think they're still keeping him like extremely sweet, extremely cute. Um like when he goes into his the only part that I didn't like CGI with Chopper is like when he goes into like his like really big monstery form. Like I will have nightmares about that form. Which I think you're supposed to. Like it's not supposed to be all, he's mostly cute for the first part, but there's like a couple forms like he's really like he really is a monster. And I think that form didn't look fully like it looked kind of weird. But other than that, yeah, I think they did so good with Wapple. Wapple looked fantastic. Um like like how scary like and I don't remember like it's kind of like Wapple to me is kind of like Buggy in a way where it's like you feel like this boss is a joke because of like what the powers look like and everything, but it is actually kind of really creepy. And they definitely lean more towards the dark end of the humor than the light end of the humor. They do that with Wobble, and then they definitely do it with Buggy. I love this Buggy, yo. Like, I like that he's dark. I like that he's scary. You know, I like that we're dealing with like the darker side of the circus and like the creep factor of that. And the idea of Wapple's powers and how corrupt and messed up those are. Um, and then yeah, there's just the only thing I think that slowed this down a little bit, but it does in the anime too, is Little Garden. Because really, Little Garden just sets up like a really big arc like Elbath in the future. Um and they mention it like 50 times that, we're gonna go to Elbath eventually. Like just FYI. I don't remember that in the anime. I don't remember that being pushed in my face, but we have to promote the next arc of the anime, I guess. I don't know. It's what I actually. It's like, oh, by the way, you can catch up. We're going to Elbath. Like, I don't know. It feels like a complete like wherever they end this, it's going to feel complete. Is there going to be like 50, 100 more questions that you're going to want answered? Yeah, but then there's the anime and the manga for you. Enjoy. And that's what I really think this is it's fan service for the fans. It's a good introduction for people that have always been interested in this story but have always been afraid of how many episodes it is or chapters, however you want to put it. And it's a good in between for everybody. Um because, you know, unless you followed it for a decent amount of time, it's a really hard story to give somebody. But it was like a 10 out of 10 season. Like, even though I say Little Garden was a little slower, like, I was still enjoying myself. Smoker looked great. Toshigi looked good. I know, I'm just like, this is my overall thoughts. Some of this stuff I might have talked about in the first episode. But and the added scenes with the military was interesting. Um, and of course, all roads lead to Alabasta, so you know that's where we're going to next season. Um, there's a lot, you know, that is really good in Alabasta. Um, yeah, but it's been a fun ride. Would I like them to come out a little bit? I would like most TV shows to come out like faster than they are right now. It's so ridiculous with how much CGI and everything that a lot of these shows have to do. And One Piece deserves that how much they're paying per episode. Like, it's definitely working for them. Like, some other shows I'm like Rings of Power, for example, like, I think they could have cut down the budget and probably still been okay. But anyways, like and subscribe. This is probably gonna be till I read Elbaf, this is probably gonna be a little bit of the last time I read One Piece, but I do have to say that the live action has gotten me kind of interested to read Elbaf. I would love to read a lot of it before the show comes out. But we'll see. Well, we will see. I think they're gonna do. I think somewhere I heard like the anime is gonna be like 12, 24 episodes a season now. So there might be some room for me to catch up. I know I read some of it. But I will probably talk about Elbath, my manga experience with my anime experience. I would like to get back into it. I've been so just not in the manga mood for one thing, and two, I've just not been in the One Piece mood ever since I had to go chapter by chapter through that speech that really took me out. But anyways, I will see you in the next video or short. But have a lovely one, and I will see you next time. Bye!